hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. We are commanded to love each other, and it's a beautiful day and a wonderful time to be a Black American, especially a Black American woman. Today I'm talking about that OKCupid poll because people keep coming onto my channel talking about the poll, Black men, and talking about how they are not at the bottom of the poll, and they don't seem to understand why they're not at the bottom of the poll. I'm going to break down the OKCupid poll, and then I'm going to give you information from another dating site that took their data from the OKCupid poll. Now, I know this is not going to straighten the whole thing out because people believe what they want to believe, and there seems to be a deep desire on the part of a lot of Black American men to think that they're more important and more popular than Black American women based on data. And they don't understand the data, I don't think. And I believe it's been broken down a couple of times on other channels, but I'm going to do it again today here. So I'm only going to do who the women prefer because that's what's in question. And this is how the OKCupid poll broke down. And this is my own made up chart. And I had a hard time making this chart, but I did it to give a visual of what the poll said. So I have the men that American women prefer: white women, Black women, Hispanic women, and Asian women. And my poll is a little slanted, but you get my point. White women preferred white men. Black women preferred Black men. Hispanic women, half of them preferred white men and half of them preferred Hispanic men, because a lot of Hispanics are white and a lot of them are non-white. So the white ones preferred white men, and apparently the non-white ones preferred non-white men, or the mixed Hispanic men. And then for the Asian women, preferred white men, so nobody preferred the Asian men. So white men were overwhelmingly number one in this poll because white women, Asian women, and a half of the Hispanic women voted for them. Black men came in number two because Black women voted them as their most desirable, who they preferred. And the Asian men came in at the bottom because nobody preferred the Asian men. Now, just so Black men can feel better about this whole thing, when the men voted the women, white men voted Asian women, Asian men voted for Latino women, Latino men, I think, voted for white women, or maybe they split it between white and Latino, and Black women were nobody's favorite or nobody's desirable or preferred, or however you want to call it. Now, I don't think Black women have a problem with that. I don't care. I know I don't. I don't care what other races of men think. I'm married to a Black man. If I get another one, he'll be Black. So I don't care what other races of men say. But since Black men want to try to use this as some kind of victory sign, taking some kind of victory lap because they didn't come in last, they really want to believe that white women prefer them, and they don't. I'm not saying that there aren't some white women that like Black men and prefer them on some level. But when you look at the totality of white women, they do not prefer Black men, and that bears it out in society when most white women are married to white men and most white men are married to white women. And the reason why Black women consistently vote for Black men as their most desirable is because many of us have very good husbands that we love, and we had good fathers, and we have good brothers, and we have good friends that are Black men, and we see Black men trying and striving for the Black family and the Black community. It has nothing to do with these men on social media that are constantly trying to drag Black women down. The good news for Black women is that there are good Black men. And that is how come they can stay popular with the majority of Black women. So I went looking for that OKCupid poll again because it still keeps coming up. And I think that poll was done in 2014. So it's not available now. But I came across this article that says online dating, and it says 7 surprising online dating race statistics. That's the headline. And then the subheading says surprising online dating race statistics. And this is very interesting because they quote that OKCupid poll. The writer of this article is Amber Brooks, and she says, I was at a party when I spied Dataclasm, a number crunching book written by OKCupid co founder Christian Rudder, on an end table. Now, I try to avoid talking about dating industry trends in my real life, but I love this book, so I couldn't help but ask the party's host what she thought of its many stats. Yeah, it's interesting, she said. I didn't realize how racist online dating can be. It's definitely made me think twice about who I respond to online. Okay, now this is Amber Brooks saying, first of all, online dating isn't racist. The book's data reveals certain racial biases in online attractiveness measured by likes and response rates. But online dating isn't at fault for user behavior. Racial attitudes influence online dating in fundamental ways, and learning more about those patterns can help individuals be more conscious of their choices and feel more open to dating people of all races. In that spirit, we've put together a list of the 7 most surprising statistics about race and online dating. So this is a white woman talking, and I think she probably found some things surprising about these statistics herself. So she has listed 7 online dating race statistics. Number 1, white men and Asian women have the highest response rates. Racial biases are usually negative, but sometimes they involve giving preferential treatment to particular types of people. So the good news for white men and Asian women is that they are the most sought after demographics on dating sites. According to data from Facebook's app, Are You Interested? Asian women see much higher response rates from white, 17.6%, Latina, 15.8%, and black, 26% men. Women in general see 3 times more interaction than men do, but Asian women were particularly successful at catching a man's interest. So Asian women and white men got it going on these dating sites, okay? Number 2, black men and women have the lowest response rates. Quartz's researchers studied over 2.4 million heterosexual interactions on Are You Interested to determine if online daters had racial biases and what those were. Overall, they found black men and black women receive significantly fewer I'm interested ratings than other races do. I'm going to repeat that. Overall, they found black men and black women receive significantly fewer I'm interested ratings than other races do. Okay? It further says, although black women responded the most positively toward black men, all other races responded the least to this demographic, and all men, regardless of race, responded the least to black women. OKCupid came to similar conclusions in its assessment of race and attraction. Black women replied the most, yet get by far the fewest replies, the dating experts said. Essentially, every race, including other blacks, singles them out for the cold shoulder. So what this says is that although black women view black men positively, black men do not view black women positively on these dating sites. So black men get interest from black women, but not from anybody else. And black women don't get interest from black men. So black women don't get interest from anybody. And this is what the black men are gloating over. The fact that they don't like black women. Because when it comes down to other races, nobody else chooses them either. But black women, and I'm going to say this one more time, black women responded the most positively toward black men. All other races responded the least to this demographic. So you're not really desirable to anybody but black women. Now you can play that game in your head all you want to, but you've been quoting data, and this is what the data says. Number 3, most men prefer Asian women except Asian men. What's going on with the Asians? They don't like each other because they know each other, probably. So you know how people say there's an exception to every rule? Well, it's true in online dating as well. The Quartz Media graphic shows men of all races except Asian men prefer Asian women. Asian men respond more to single Latina women, marking themselves as interested 19% of the time. According to OKCupid's internal data, Asian men receive fewer messages and matches overall, so maybe they simply shy away from Asian women's highly competitive online dating profiles. So the Asians don't like each other. And black men would be in the same shape that Asian men are in if black women didn't like them. So Asian men and women don't like each other. But black women still like black men because there are enough decent black men to keep the ship going. Number 4, and this is highlighted. I did not highlight this. The article was already highlighted. Number 4 says, most women prefer white men except black women. Black women were another notable exception in Quartz's study of online attraction. Black women showed the most interest in black men, while women of other races heavily preferred white men. Black women seem most drawn to date prospects of their own race, even though black men have a low interest rating of 16.5% to black women. Well, you know what? That might not be a lot, but that's enough. We'll take the 16% online because that 26% that prefers Asians actually reflect the percentage of black men that marry out anyway. So goodbye and good riddance. Number 5, only 10% of people would date someone with a vocal racial bias. I don't believe that. I think those people would not date somebody if they had a racial bias against their ethnic group, but I don't think they would have a problem if they had a racial bias against somebody else's. And even their own racial group, we have seen black men with white women who are calling them the N-word and making fun of them and taking them to the shopping mall and standing them up beside a dark-skinned, jet black mannequin and taking pictures of them and telling them that's their kinfolks. So we know black men don't have any respect for themselves who do that, the ones who would do that. But I think other men would do it too. OKCupid has hundreds upon hundreds of personal questions that it uses to create a personality profile and match percentage for every user. This site has been collecting this data for years, so it can show how user opinions on specific issues have changed over time. I'm going to take a break and give you the name of the website so you can go look this up for yourself. 7 surprising online dating race statistics, datingadvice.com. I'm going to put it in the description box if I can remember it, but if I don't remember it, you've got it. Number 6, 35% of people strongly prefer to date within their own race. That same article also showed a steady decline in the number of people who said they would prefer to date someone of their own race. In 2008, 42% of OKCupid users said they prefer to keep to their own when dating. By 2014, that number had dropped to around 35% of users. The blog post concludes answers to match questions have been getting significantly less biased over time. America does seem to favor interracial dating and intermixing, especially of black people. So I think that's something to be suspicious of personally. People are still prejudiced. They might say on paper that they don't mind somebody dating or they don't have a problem with interracial dating, but you bring somebody from a different race to their house and then you're going to really see what they really think. And then number 7 says less than 4% of people think interracial marriage is a bad idea. Well, less than 4 think it's a bad idea. That's not true. More than 4% of people think that interracial marriage in the United States is a bad idea. Some things are believable and some things are not. So this is what the data is saying about racial dating, interracial dating, and racial preferences. Now, this is the data. So people can believe what they want to believe. Black men are not being chosen by anybody but black women. Okay, black women? Can I get an amen? All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.